Hear the heartbeat of earth. I'm Olivia Robertson of the Fellowship of Isis, and I offer to be your guide for the mystical awakening of the goddess Terra, our earth, in the constellation of Capricorn. What is your time and place? I do not know, for you to me are a denizen of the future, and I am in your past. And I know that at Clonigall Castle in Ireland, it is winter in the constellation of Capricorn. Anoint your brow with water to awaken the third eye. Strange that you should have to leave the earth to know the earth, but know that the real earth extends far beyond the physical earth in its penumbra. You rise then from your body, but retaining consciousness, some consciousness, and move into the darkness of mid-winter. Cold, and you move over the land of Ireland, and the winter constellations shine brightly. Ursa Minor, the Great Bear, Leo Minor, the lovely Cassiopeia, breasts of the goddess, and the body of Nuit, whose breasts these are, is arched over the sky, and her two legs separate at Vega. And below us, unseen, in the southern hemisphere, is the constellation of the goat, Capricornus, which is in the sun. Feel now, as you begin to descend over Ireland, the heartbeat of the earth. In resonance, your own heart feels this. You look down and you see there are two rivers which join each other. These are the Slaney and the Derry, river of healing and river of the oak. And between them is an ancient grey castle, and near it a ruined abbey. White light is radiating from this castle. Let us descend. The heavy, thick granite walls are like mist to us. We descend into the bowels of the earth, as it were, until we find we are before an iron gateway leading to a holy well, around which this castle was built, a pre-Druid well, guarded by granite heads of ancient Celtic deities. These are thousands of years old. We observe priestesses who wear silver circlets with one star, and priests who wear black and silver headdresses, and the companions have similar headgear, but strangely enough all their heads are covered in long black veils, and they wear black robes. The archpriest, wearing a high mitre of black and dark blue and flowing black robes, the Reverend Lawrence Durden Robertson, addresses the company.
Companion, as a quest to greater consciousness, you are welcome to join with us in the mystical awakening of the earth forest Terra in the constellation of Capricorn.
Now the priestess, the archpriestess, anoints each brow with this almost whispered word, receive now water, that your third eye may awaken, you may see visions. Feel this power now, silvery and white, in your own brow. Strangely enough, the company are not going to stay here. They are forming a procession. They carry with them seeds in a bag. Some of the companions, the women, carry seeds, and the men carry vessels of incense. And the archpriestess carries a silver bowl of water. And another priestess is carrying water into which she sprinkles salt. Where are they going? They are filing their way out of the Temple of Isis, past 9 columns, and they reach a terrace with yew trees, a geometrical form. And there is a square yew walk guarding the castle in front of a wilderness, and the companions wind their way down this long tunnel of yews. Visualize yourself following a procession headed by young men carrying flaming torches. For it is dark, dark winter's evening. Follow this procession. We are reaching the end of the yew walk and swinging to the left. We are passing a classical belvedere with slender white columns and pay our respect to the goddess Flora, though now most of the flowers are dead and there's only the red-berried holly and some yellow jasmine flowers to honour her. And we are rising a little, and we are reaching the ruined abbey, dedicated now, as once it was before the Christian abbey was built, to the goddess Dana of the Tuatha De Danann. The company file their way into this abbey, which faces the northeast, with a great arched window, and it is full of flowering shrubs, sarcococcus, plants that flower in winter time, heavenly scent. And there's one brave rose petal and a little primrose still in flower. There are always flowers for Dana. The company form a circle round a fire. But we observe that the archpriest is moving towards a dolmen altar. But what is odd about it is used in the traditional way in ancient days in Ireland, because a woman's figure is seated on it, wearing a long black veil. She is as still as a statue, hands on her knees, tall and stately, and we glimpse long black flowing hair about her through the veil. Are we to be granted the oracle of the divine earth goddess?
Holy Mother of us all, we dwell by thy sufferance upon the wide earth. All creatures that fly and run and swim are under thy sway. The sacred elements of earth form thy body, and thy mighty aura encompasses us as a protective veil. But now we dread the destruction we wreak upon thy being. Aid us to change the hearts of those who destroy thy children and thy life.
Fear not for me, for if, through immature folly, my destructive suns break my crust irretrievably, causing my inner fires to erupt, for me this will be a glorious rebirth into a greater orbit, I should encircle the sun in splendour as a far-flying comet. In truth, it is not for me whom you have trodden underfoot with neglect, for whom you fear, but for yourselves and your works. For what can the students do when they have destroyed their classroom? Yet that which is threatened is suddenly appreciated. So many of you return to my nature and seek my initiation. Know that heaven and the stars are without, but they are also within me and within yourselves. My inner sun shines radiantly as my heart's love, and in the depths my holy creatures, my holy centres glow with myriad ever-changing colours. These are guarded by the two-coiled fiery dragon goddess Tiamat. The first quest to be undertaken by the seeker is not without, but within my being. For within are all your lost treasures, the records of your past lives. The pilgrim soul may through me live again, through each stage of evolving consciousness, as does a child within the womb. Descend into the abyss, but only with my vocation. Without my unmistakable call, you will surely perish from fear. Bring with you the lamp of truth, and in your hearts love for even those of my children who appear to you as terrible of aspect. You will face and pass through molten sulphurous green lakes, rivers of fire, and finally face all-revealing night. Know that in my womb rests the lost paradise you seek, and within it is the tree. The time comes to each of you when the forbidden fruit is freely given, and the gifts thereof give you knowledge of past epochs, and the rise and fall of planets, and the realization of your own latent divinity. But even knowledge is not enough. For wisdom to be won, you must taste of the ever-renewing tree of creative love. Come to me without fear, but only when I call you home.
All gaze with wonder, and some see rays of white light extending from behind and around the priestess, and others see a mighty figure reaching to the stars. All fold their hands in thanksgiving as the priestess slowly recovers from trance, given water to drink by a companion. The priest addresses the company.
Companions on the quest for the gate of the deities, know that the Platonic Adepti taught that souls ascend to heaven through the Altera Solis Porta, the stars of Capricorn. This zodiacal sign is millennia old, revered when the summer solstice was in this constellation. In Chaldea, China, Babylon, it has been symbolized by an animal fish. The goat nymph, Amalthea of Capricorn, fed Jupiter with her milk, and it was her lost horn that became the cornu Amaltheae, the cornucopia flowing with the food of the deities, nectar and ambrosia. Some of our forebears saw this sign as that of Baphomet, or the goat of Mendes, the sun god and scapegoat born from her baint, which is the womb of Isis. It was from a ray of Capricorn that the Titan Saturn was born, who gave both his Saturnine intellect and the cheerful Saturnalia to the starry influence.
Now the chief priestess sweeps forward and addresses all. It is also the sign of birth, as well as of the intellect and rejoicing. The goddesses gave birth to their sons in Capricorn. Horus, son of Isis, Mithra and Helios, the sun gods, Dionysus, son of Selene, Aeon, and Og,
born of Sul his mother, who awaited his birth in a mighty sky ship at midwinter. In the heavens, Sirius, star of Ishtar and Isis, has its antiheliac rising in Capricorn. It is the time of the fertilization of the crops, celebrated in the festival of Sementivi Ferere. Let us follow this ancient custom and invoke the earth, mother of us all, Terra, Gaia.
Here another priestess uplifts her magic wand and both arms right before the stone dolmen altar and invokes the goddess Gaia.
I invoke the earth goddess Gaia. I will sing of well-founded earth, mother of all, eldest of all beings. She feedeth all creatures that are in the world, all that go upon the goodly land, and all that are in the paths of the seas, and all that fly. All these are fed of her store. Through thee, O Queen, men and women are blessed in their children, and are blessed in their harvest. And to thee it belongs to give means of life to mortals, and to take it away.
Happy is the man whom thou doth delight to honour. He has all things abundantly. His fruitful land is laden with corn. His pastures are covered with cattle, and his house is filled with good things. Such men rule orderly in their cities of fair women. Great riches and wealth follow them. Their sons exult with ever-fresh delight, and their daughters in flower-laden bands play and dance merrily over the soft flowers of the field. Thus is it with those whom thou doth honour, O holy goddess, bountiful spirit. Hail, mother of the gods! Freely bestow upon us substance that cheers the heart.
Now we realize that the four quarters are being brought into play because both priestess and priest call upon Gaia in the north, which is to the left of the dolmen altar, where is the most ancient Druid burial ground in Europe, it is said. Now, the first priest approach in the north upraises his arms.
I invoke the great god Pan, dear son of Maia and Hermes, with his goat's feet and 2 horns, is a lover of merry music. Through wooded glades he wanders with dancing nymphs, who foot it on some sheer cliff's edge, calling upon Pan, the shepherd god, long-haired, unkempt. He hath every snowy crest, and the mountain peaks and rocky crests for his domain. Hither and thither he goeth through the close thickets, now lured by soft streams, and now he presseth on amongst crags overlooking the flocks.
Now we begin to observe that the people are beginning to dance slowly round the fire, and a priest continues.
At evening he sounds his note, playing sweet and low on his pipes of reed. At that hour the clear-voiced nymphs are with him and move with nimble feet, singing by some spring of dark water, while echo waileth about the mountain top. And the god sidles into their midst, playing nimbly with his feet. He delighteth in high-pitched voices, songs in soft meadows where crocuses and sweet-smelling hyacinths bloom at random in the grass. The nymphs sing of the blessed deities of high Olympus, and how they called the horned god with goat's legs Pan, because he delighted all their hearts.
Friends, let us join the dance of Pan. Dance with joy in all nature. Pan is is reborn. Pan lives. The women interweave through arches created by the men's raised arms, winding in and out as did our ancestors to bring fertility to the land in spring. Dance, dance. Now, as the dance reaches a climax, it begins to die down, and all the companions form a circle and chant Evoe Pan. Let us call Evoe Pan, 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 There's a more solemn mood. The priestess now in the southeast raises her black wand.
I invoke the goddess Prosperina, divine Proserpina, daughter of the grain goddess Ceres, who brought from the depths of the earth the pomegranate seeds of life. Be with us in the depths and in the heights. Thou art queen of the underworld, yet ascendest also to heaven to thy mother. In thy twinning caverns of darkness are hoarded the seeds of new life and the ghosts of long-dead forests. On thy rocky walls are imprinted the skeletons of those who roamed the earth. When we explore thy realm, may we return as did Psyche, with our box of dreams. Save us from doing as she did, opening the box from folly. For she was overcome with fantasies and fell into a death-like sleep, only awakened by a kiss from Eros. Keep our consciousness awake through the spheres.
The time has come for us to awaken. This is the darkest time before the dawn. In the house of Capricorn, souls awaken to heaven. The company are seated round the fire in deep meditation. We are all in the matrix of the goddess, in darkness, in sleep, in this transient world we call the earth. Let our Psyche awaken to the kiss of Eros, and as Osiris awakened to the kiss of Isis. Let your soul awaken. Awaken from the world to the true earth, and from thence to the stars above. We are born of the dead, and rise to the stars. Visualize yourself now seated round this fire, experiencing again your mother's womb, for it is all buried in your unconscious. She wants you to leave her and awaken into the light, knowing that you will return to her in a greater sphere of rebirth when the time of initiation is near. Awaken, awaken. The Earth Mother has brought you to birth for this. She wishes you to go forth, and she will greet you at the gates of heaven. The God awakens the woman, the goddess awakens the man. As a symbol of this awakening, we see a priest putting wood upon the fire, and it spurts into a sudden flame. A priestess holds her hands over the fire and makes a motion, drawing the flames upward.
I invoke the goddess Vesta, goddess of the hearth and of the fire within the earth, virgin of the flame. To thee is consecrated midwinter and the constellation of Capricorn. Vesta, Hestia, in the high dwellings of all, both deathless gods and goddesses, and men and women who walk on earth, thou hast among all gained an everlasting abode and highest honour, glorious in thy portion and thy due. For without thee mortals hold no banquet, where one does not duly pour sweet wine in offering to Hestia, first and last. Hestia, worshipful and dear, dwell in our hearts in friendship. Thou who dost bless the holy house of the Lord Apollo, with soft oil dripping ever from thy locks, come now into our house, come, having one mind with Zeus the all-wise, draw near, and withal bestow thy grace upon us.
Here the companions place wood on the fire, each companion placing wood or piece of Irish Terra, their own contribution, symbolic of their rebirth. Do likewise. Friends, we are seated around the fire in the old abbey of Dana, and the goddess of Vesta has been invoked of the matchless pure flame. Feel this power rising up through the earth, through your feet, the base of your spine, up your spine. Your sex center, plexus, reaches your heart, between your shoulder blades, your wing center, your throat, up the back of your head, but now it's cold. What is this? It is the spiritual light of Vesta coming from above, through the top of your head, down, and it meets the uprising flames of earth. They meet in your heart. You feel your whole aura is irradiated. And this happens to other people. Look at the company. Imagine them, the companions. Their auras are brighter than the fire around which they sit. Now a priest steps forward, holding his staff, and he strikes on the ground 3 times. And draws power from the earth.
I invoke the god Vulcan, Hephaestus, dark lord of the sparking anvil, hammerer at the forge. Thy skill maketh and breaketh. Thou art god of warriors and of husbandmen. For through thy skills great cities rise and fall. Beat our swords into plowshares. Thou art lame of leg through our misuse of thy great and terrible gifts. Help us to use them with wisdom and compassion.
Now another priest steps forward and smites the ground once again, but this time 6 times. He goes on his knees and places both palms on the earth. We all do this, and then he slowly rises to his feet as if drawing power from the earth. Do this also.
I invoke the god Pluto, thou who art god of the underworld, dark Hades, divine consort of Proserpina, son of Rhea. Thou doth inspire holy awe. Bestow on us the riches of wisdom and strength, knowledge and skill that lie within thy guardianship in the depths and in ourselves. Aid us to seek the treasures intended for us, and to leave concealed that which should be hidden. Let the guardians of Capricornus be honored.
I hail the guardians of Prima and Secunda Gedi, the horn of the goat. May strength be won.
I hail the guardians of Dahib Major and Dahib Minor, the heads of the goat. May intelligence be gained through experience.
I hail the guardians of Al Sadal Nashira, the fortunate one, bringer of good tidings, may we make our own good fortune.
I hail the guardians of Debed al-Gida, the fishtail of the goat, known as the heavenly walled castle. May we protect our work.
Now comes an important part of the ceremony. The archpriestess steps before the dolmen altar and shakes seeds from a bag presented to her by a companion into her hands. She holds these seeds in her hands before the altar, and then she places some upon the altar, retaining others.
Propitious Terra and Ceres, mothers of the corn, bless these seeds which are committed to the black earth. For thou, Ceres, lendest to the corn its vital force, and thou, Terra, lendest it room. O grant unto thy tender seeds unbroken increase. When we sow, let the sky be cloudless and the winds blow fair. But when the seed is buried, then sprinkle it with water from the sky. May the farms yield with manifold interest crops of wheat and barley.
The second priestess steps forward.
Long time did wars engage mankind. The sword was handier than the share. The plough-ox was ousted by the charger. Hoes were idle. Mattocks were turned into javelins, and a helmet was made out of a heavy rake. Permit the seed to be ploughed, for Pax is the nurse of Ceres, and so Ceres is the foster child of peace. May the seeds of life grow within thy soul, protected in the dark earth by Proserpina.
As she speaks these words of the seeds of life, she hands some of these to all present. This is a most beautiful part of the ceremony, that the companions take the seeds and bury them in a plot of land made ready for them. Each says a prayer as the seed is committed to the ground.
I commit this seed to the ground, to the care of my Mother Earth, that it may grow and bloom as the springtide turns.
I bury these seeds in the sure and certain joy that they will be reborn as we all hope to be reborn through the Mother.
I bury these seeds for the future so that they may grow, so that they may feed all of thy children, O great Mother.
I bury these seeds in the womb of the great Mother. These are the seeds of the future. Let them grow with the divine spark that is the rightful destiny of all.
The companions make a dance round the seeds, the dance of fertility. This is quite different from the stamping dance invoking Pan. It is made with gentle arm movements, as of a mother nurturing a baby, a mother animal looking after a child, a hen with an egg. Join in this dance. Imagine a seed you have planted, seed of a tree, a flower, and nurture it with your love. Feel its roots. Go on your knees. You've just buried this. Feel your fingers in the earth. Feel the roots within yourself going downwards. First the companions all kneel round the seeds, touching the earth. Then in the ancient salutation of Gaia, they place earth upon their foreheads. Do this. Now they slowly rise and lift their arms to the sky in symbol of fruitfulness and growth. Do this. And as you do this, visualize any project, any work you are undertaking, any work, green, otherwise, to help the earth. Or, if you deal with children, to help young people grow, or indeed help grown-ups grow. Feel this. Now, the companions are seated on the ground. And the first priest tells them a story suitable, because we are thinking of growth, of a child.
Hear of the journey of the soul, as told by Charles Kingsley. Tom, the chimney sweep, longs to reach the heavenly place where the girl Ellie lives. He seeks for Mother Carey at the world's end to help him. "Where's the right gate?" asked Tom. "There is no gate," a sea creature told him. "Dive under the ice if you are brave enough." So Tom dived under the great white gate, which never opened yet, and went on in black darkness at the bottom of the sea for 7 days and 7 nights. And at last he saw the light. He asked the way to Mother Carey. "There she sits in the middle," said a whale. Tom could see nothing except one peaked iceberg. "That's Mother Carey," said the whale. "There she sits, making old beasts into new all the year round."
And when Tom came near, he saw that it was not an iceberg at all, but the grandest old lady he had ever seen, sitting on a throne, and from the foot of the throne where swam away out into the sea millions of newborn children whom she makes out of the sea-water all day long.
Tom expected her to be very busy, but she sat quite still, with her chin upon her hand, looking down into the sea. Tom told her his errand, and asked the way to the other end of nowhere. "Look at me," said Mother Carey. And as Tom looked into her eyes, he knew the way perfectly. "Thank you, ma'am," said Tom. "Then I won't trouble your ladyship any more. I hear you are very busy."
"So people fancy," said Mother Carey, "but I never trouble myself to make things. I sit here and make them make themselves."
Know that she who turns fishes into beasts, and beasts into men, is Mother Carey, the North goddess of the sea, Goda, from whom comes the name of God. Goda, the goddess. She rides naked upon a goat, and holds a fish net in one hand, and an apple in the other. She is accompanied by a hare and a raven. The Saxons call her God, Goda, Godiva. Now the archpriestess holds hands over the salt water handed to her companion and blesses it. Imagine this. She hands it round, anointing each brow with these words:
"Draw creativity from the abyss, in the name of Proserpina and Goda."
Feel this. Feel you are drawing creativity. You can create in the name of Proserpina and Goda.
Hearken to the words of the bard of Terra, Aeon. Memory is an attribute of all living creatures, and of earth also, the greatest living creature we know. And she carries with her all her long history, cities far gone behind time, empires which are dust, buried continents beneath waters. The beauty for which men perished is still shining. No ancient lore has perished. Earth retains for herself and her children what her children might in passion have destroyed. And it is still in the realm of the ever-living to be seen by the mystic adventurer. These memories gild the desert air, where once the proud and golden races have been and had passed away. And they haunt the rocks and mountains where the Druids evoke their sky and subterrane cities.
If our will is powerful enough, and by concentration and aspiration we have made the gloom in the brain to glow, we can evoke out of memory of earth images of whatsoever we desire. Once a magical book appeared before me, a symbol on every page. On one of these the outlines of a human body appeared, and there was a shining of forces and a flashing of fires, rose, gold, azure, and silver along the spinal columns, and these flowed up into the brain where they struck upon a little ball. It was like a white sunfire for brilliancy, and they flashed out of that again in a pulsation as of wings on each side of the head.
The companions meditate. Meditate yourself. Be aware of the inner centers within yourself that are also within our Mother, the Earth. Like Earth, we are crowned and surrounded by the stars and blessed by sun and moon. Feel our neighbours. Feel this. Meditate. Feel light within your brow. Gently, quietly. You remember that you walk, see before you darkness. Out of this darkness, the black sky, see the very blackest bit and concentrate on that. Look at that blackness. Now, you will, if you do this correctly, see a star, a dazzling light. Go on looking at this white star. Now it's beginning to develop what looks like two white wings, spherical shape. Go on looking, beginning to rotate. You begin to see brilliant colours emerging from mist. Watch. Pierce the darkness, the darkest part. You will begin to see the colours of your own aura, whether these be green or violet. First, you will see the colours of your own aura. I always see a deep violet, followed by its contrary colour of yellowish green. First, you will see the colour of your own aura, then its contrary colour. Do this. Now a picture may form. First it will look very, very small and glittering. It will look like a bed of tulips, or very brilliant, like stained glass, or like a French Impressionist painting. Very brilliant, flat, completely flat and brilliant. Stained glass land. Look at this. The picture is beginning to develop a third dimension. It becomes less brilliant but more solid. Look at it, concentrate. And when you have learned this, you will learn how to enter into the picture, but only enter it if you like it. You see anything you like? Suddenly you will become the size of the picture. You will enter into it. Enter into the true earth, which is all around you, but you've never noticed before, where a gnat is beautiful and a stone sparkles where all is lovely. Trees, all. Ugliness and desolation has vanished, for this is the etheric earth, immaculate, perfect. Grey and ugly cities fade like mist, and you see them as they were, the marshlands of Egypt and the Bay of London, the mountains pure and white, without any ugliness of quarrying. All this is here now. How happy you are. For this is in the eternal now. It is eternal. When you return into time and space, you can always bring this vision with you. And then you will begin, even in ordinary life, to see the true earth begin to shine. In a face full of hatred, you will see really kindness, longing to express itself. Where there's jealousy, you'll only see someone longing to be loved. When you see a violence of anger, you only see a man wishing to defend his wife and family. You will see the good in all things. And this is the touch of Croesus, of Pluto, who holds the philosopher's stone, that whatever you see turns to spiritual gold. Proserpine brings you the gift to see, Pluto the gift to touch and feel. Hold in your hands, in one hand, your left hand, a flower, in your right, a stone. These are the riches of Persephone and Pluto. However, the company are beginning to come round from trance, so I think we should, and become aware of them again. The first priestess steps forward and lights a great torch which she brings to the high altar. She now ignites everyone's torches, and she calls out,
Behold the eternal flame of Vesta.
and as everyone lights their torches, from this first torch they all cry out, Behold the flame of Vesta.
May your winged soul ascend through the starry gateway, inspired by the ever-living vestal flame.
All call out, May the fires of Vesta be experienced.
May the fires of Vesta be experienced.
Evoe Vesta.
Evoe
Evoe
Vesta.
Vesta, Evoe 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 Vesta. Now is formed a spiral dance with all these torches. White light may be seen by those who are psychic, and silvery power felt in head and through the spine, and power coming up from the earth. Spiritual elation is experienced. Come, join this dance, the spiral dance of fire. Dance. Quicker, quicker. The company now surround the altar, and they put down their torches and throw off their black veils so that their brilliant copper crowns may be seen. Feel this. Throw off the black veil. You didn't know you had one, but that's your murky aura. That is, if you have a murky aura, and perhaps we all get them occasionally through worry and stress. Throw it off. Reveal your crown of stars. Yes, you didn't know you had one, but you have. Wear your own crown, which is unlike anyone else's. It has its own jewels, jewels you love, jewels you feel in touch with, turquoise, rubies, diamonds, sapphires, topazes, aquamarines. All these are gifts from Proserpina and Pluto. The priestess now is holding aloft a star-marked scroll which she has taken from a companion, and all sit as she speaks.
Companions, let us contemplate the constellation of Capricorn. Behold, it emerges from the sea of heaven, the primordial abyss from which all life is drawn. Within it swim Pisces, Australis, and Aquarius, and above flies the eagle, Aquila. Beyond ascends the starry northern swan, Cygnus, spreading wide its wings. Nearby are the twin souls, fair Vega, maiden of the lyre, and Altar, the youth of Aquila, separated by the Milky Way. As it is told in the Orient, the weaver maid and the shepherd may only meet once a year over a bridge of magpies. So do our souls long for completion, the union of darkness and light, dreams and activity, the past and future, in eternal reality. In silence, let us contemplate the mystery of Capricorn and Terra.
Let us also contemplate this mystery, the humble earth, and the far distant stars of Capricorn, which some saw as a sea goat. Teachings given to us by the Magi, for they would ask a simple person, "My friend, what is that in the sky?" They would say, "It's goat swarms." And the Magus will say, "I will tell you concerning that goat." And so the starry book revealed myths not known to astronomers, yet written in the book of fate. Despise not the myths of the stars, for they were linked to the simple imagination of humble fellow friends who gazed at the sky and called them names, and the teachings were given, and so their souls were brought nourishment. Let us contemplate the earth and the constellation of Capricorn. Contemplation is not meditation. Meditation is you think with seed, that is an idea, but this you just peacefully contemplate it. Yes, now is omnipresent, so is I. You are me, aren't you? You say I, me, I'm me, I. And your now is my now. They're all part of the great now. past does not exist and the future's not there. Only the now can comprehend all things. We realize that now belongs to us all, as does I and me. We are one with the starry body of night. And we observe the company do the Sphinx drawing of power, drawing the earth power upwards. They go on their knees and place the flat of their hands and forehead on the earth, drawing in the inner energy. Slowly that now they rise to their feet. Do this. Feel the power rising up your spine. Stand erect and like them hold your arms upwards. They form a circle inwards. Those with psychic vision see the orange and ruby flames of earth ascend and meet the star power from above. Terra is one with Capricorn. With this realization, we know it is time for you to return to your own body, rise into the night sky of my world, into your own. Enter your own body fully. Be conscious. Drink a glass of water. Get